right, hello everyone. This is my video analysis on our Tendo unit. So just a quick recap, it's a linear transducer that measures power and velocity during concentric contractions. It can provide us and the athlete with that quantifiable data on their aspects of performance. And then some areas of concern, I wanted to touch on reliability, validity, and how we can implement this to their sports performance. So I found a study investigating reliability and validity of 4 commonly used measurement devices, and one of them was the Tendo unit. They reference the gold standard as being our 3D motion capture. And then all 3 linear transducers were found to be reliable, and all 3 had a root mean square error of less than 11% for a squat and less than 15 for a jump squat. So overall, they were reliable and fairly valid. And then I also found another study on NBA players using the Tendo unit to measure their power output during their entire season. They used the jump squat and squat, and they compared starters versus non-starters, and they found that the starters during the competitive season increased their vertical jump power, and then for the squat power, both the starters and non-starters had no significant difference. So this is on their technology. This is the software that you can buy. Up top left, you can see that they're measuring a bench press. You can see that the average power in red is 568 watts. It's 83% of their best rep, and they're on rep number 3, 100 kilograms, and then it shoots this information into a spreadsheet as well, which I think is very user-friendly, very easy to read. I had no problem kind of deciphering everything. You can see all of their reps, all of their loads, their peak values, their average values for power and velocity. And then it also creates graphs, which is really helpful. So touching on my exercise prescription, so we have our D1 basketball player who's struggling to produce force and power. And if you look in that force velocity graph, we want to hit that strength speed, so 80 to 90% rep max first to improve on his force production, which means strength increasing. So after the strength is gained, then we can look into power, where I thought of 3 exercises, 3 touching on strengthening and 3 touching on power. So first we have our back squat, and then our jump squat and deadlift, all of those at 80 to 90% rep max with a velocity of 1 to 0.75 meters per second, getting in that strength area. And then when you progress to power, you can do the 1.3 to 1 meters per second. And then in our power specific exercises, I have our sled pushes, tuck jumps, and box jumps. And this is kind of a little different because we can't hook up our linear transducer to these. So I had to measure kind of in rate of perceived exertions, and then how we can progress these is in load or length for the sled push, or going from double leg to single leg in the tuck jumps, and increasing box height for power for the box jumps. All right, and then I'm gonna touch on the exercises.
All right, so first off, we have our squat. We wanna do 80 to 90% rep max. She's keeping her toes forward, knees forward. We wanna instruct them from not letting their knees dip into that knee valgus, and also instruct them to keep the bar as straight as possible. Their back is not overextended, it's in that neutral position. And then here's full out. We're doing that about 1 meters per second velocity. And then we also just want to keep them motivated as well. So next we're going to go into our squat jumps. This would normally be done with that barbell hooked up to the linear transducer. She is extending her hips, extending her knees at that top jump, and then here's full out at maybe that 1 second velocity. Again, we would have that barbell attached. All right, next we got our deadlift classic here. We have 80 to 90% rep max at that 1 meters per second velocity, making sure our athlete keeps it as a hip hinge strictly. We don't want that back or knees to go in. She's just pivoting at the hips. Here's full out. Again, motivating her, telling her she's doing great, correcting any errors you see. All right, next we have our double leg tuck jumps. She's doing great at keeping her knees all the way up to her chest. We want that rate of perceived exertion over 6, and then just making sure she's staying motivated, and we can progress this by going single leg. Next we have our box jumps. So these want to be about 20 to 40 inches for hitting that power range, making sure she's comfortable with jumping that height as first, and then keeping that rate of perceived exertion as high as possible. Next is our sled pushes. So we can manipulate this by adding length or weight. Again, we want to keep that rate of perceived exertion as high as possible to hit that power. And then making sure her back is straight.
All right, guys, thank you for watching my video analysis on our Tendo unit. Here are some funny workout memes for your personal enjoyment. All right, thank y'all for watching.